to do a wonderful, wonderful venison dish. It's going to be inspired from the Xinjiang region of China, and it's cumin venison. So for those of you looking for something a little bit new, something that is easy to make, very healthy, and very fun to eat, this is your new venison dish. And of course, we are going to have some wine pairings to go with it. And it's cumin venison. And when we are done, it should look just like this. So let's get started and let's make some cumin venison. Our marinade ingredients include 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of cumin powder, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of light to regular soy sauce, based on preference, 1 tablespoon of dry white wine or Xinjiang rice wine, and this is what we're going to put over and mix in with our sliced up venison. You can use any cut of venison that you wish, but you take about 1 pound of venison, preferably the shoulder, cut into 1/2 inch by 2 inch pieces, 2 tablespoons of cumin seeds, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 7 red hot chili peppers chopped up. Now, if you want a lower level of heat, maybe go with about 2 teaspoons of Sichuan red pepper flakes or chili powder, 1 teaspoon of sugar. You take a teaspoon of Sichuan peppers, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 to a cup of green onions chopped up, and 4 cups of cilantro. Now, let's cut this up and clean it up for the dish. And if you're wondering what I'm going to do with these scraps, well, I'm going to cook them up and boil them for the dog. Why should he miss out on a little bit of a treat? You can see this is what we're going to put in the dish, and this is what we're going to boil up for Shabai. So we went ahead and patted the meat down a little bit with a paper towel. Now we're just going to go ahead and pour the olive oil, light soy sauce, dry white wine over it with our cumin powder and cornstarch. And then we're just going to mix all this up nice and pretty up. And you want to let this kind of marinate for at least 30 minutes, and there's some other things you can do in the meantime. If you want to do this in the morning and then come back several hours later, you can also do that. So it's not like you have to do this for 6 hours ahead of time. This is something you just want to do it at least 30 minutes beforehand. Mix this all up nice and neat. I'm going to go ahead and transfer it to a plastic bag so I can just kind of move it around a little bit every so often. Now for the cooking. We're going to take our cumin seeds and we are just going to toast them in the wok until they're nice and dry. And once you start smelling the aromatics, you know they're done. That's nice and done, so we'll put them in the bowl. Here we go. Okay, now we have our wok. We have the olive oil in. We got it nice and hot. We're going to add our venison. We're done. We're going to mix all of our spices, including the cumin seeds, all in here. And I like to do this nice and early so the spices get all in there. This does not take long to cook. Cook this more on the rare side. You never want to overcook your venison. And since we're cooking very small cut up pieces, this does not take long to cook. Once you start seeing things kind of browning, looking like they're cooked, you mix that in. And you just kind of cook this until the cilantro wilts. Then you know you're done. You can see that the cilantro is cooked. So we will put this in a bowl, mix it up with a little bit of rice, and then do the wine pairing portion with the eating portion. And that happens to be my favorite part. Like I've said, my favorite part is always the eating and pairing with the wine. It's all about having fun and enjoyment. And we're going to go with 3 wines this time. And I chose the Mondavi Napa Red Blend 2019 because of the high amount of Cabernet Franc in the wine. So for those of you who are not going to, let's say, put a lot of peppers in it, tone it down on the heat, this would be my recommendation. The Cab Franc-ness really pops well with the venison, that gaminess in the venison, and it holds up to all that meat, cuts right through it. It's just a wonderful wine. For the Augusta Norton, I always like to say there's wonderful wines out of Missouri. The Augusta Norton is a wonderful wine that goes with anything gamey. And yes, this is a nice dry wine. Now, for those of you who really want to crank up the heat on this dish, I recommend the Schloss Vollrads Riesling, because this will neutralize the burn every time you take a nice bite of food. It has a nice crisp acidity. It's not overly sweet. It has that nice Granny Smith apple flavor. So let's just go ahead and dig in and try each of these. The Mondavi works wonderful with this. Now, mind you, I like a lot of heat on this, but the Mondavi still works. It does not increase the heat factor to the food, and it just really, the cherry flavors in this wine really pop. You get a little bit of chocolate on the back end. Let's try the Augusta Norton with this. Now, the big berry explosion on the palate with the venison really is a lot of fun. You still get a little bit of heat on that back end based on the fact that I'm using 7 chili peppers. But if you tone it down, this would definitely be a great wine to go with it. Now, for those of you who do like the heat, like I said, Riesling's always wonderful. And you can never go wrong with something a little spicy with Riesling, in my opinion. This is definitely a wonderful wine. You get that nice crispness, that Granny Smith apple flavor. There is no sweet finish on the wine because all that heat hides the sweetness. The sweetness in the wine just neutralizes that heat. You have a roller coaster going on throughout the whole meal. Like I said, It's about what you enjoy as far as personalizing this dish based on the level of heat, the level of sweetness on the wine that you enjoy. Like I said, food and wine is about fun, pleasure, enjoyment. We have to suffer through people in our day-to-day lives. We should not have to suffer through our food and wine. Now, don't forget to give our friends at Hunting for Connections a like and follow on Facebook if you're looking to meet friends to trade hunting rights with or their dating site. Also, for all things politics in an ever-changing world, don't forget water cooler politics. And please, like a great meal or a good bottle of wine, share us with your friends on all social media, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and invite them to like a wild wine life. I'm Ray. Don't forget to live the dream. And here's to living the wild wine life.